So in this one, we are going to be doing my top 10 slash top 15 list, technically this video, because I have to mention a certain character, which does not make the top 10 for me. But I'll just say this bluntly. Nothing that this new Goku does impacts any singular placing of any unit on this list. Goku has zero impact. This is just more me realizing this or that or the other, and I'll explain everything that I'm going to say because that's what I'm supposed to do here. This Goku has zero impact. So we're just going to put out the honorable mentions here. This is top 15 list technically, so let's get them out. Short explanation for honorable mentions just because they're not top 10. Who cares about them? They're irrelevant, right? I know you see some characters you're like, wow, they're here. I know, right? I agree with you. But number 15 will be Mr. Cacao. Number 14, funny enough, I gotta move this real quickly here. Hold on a second. Number 14 will be Mr. Rage Shenron there. Number 13 will be Mr. Trio of Might Goku. Again, I'll explain these once I place all of them at the bottom here. 12 will be Mr. Gogeta Blue, and number 11 will be Garlic Jr. So let's go from back to forward here, right? So number 15, Cacao. I think, and I'm just going to explain these two together because they are meant to be run together. It is very simple and very, obvious. But Garlic and Cacao, they are meant to be run as a duo. I ran them as a duo. It did great. They give one other safety with Cacao giving, obviously, the cancel buff effect if you have a team, Turles ally, basically. Turles, Turles gang ally on his team. You get the cancel buff effect 2 times, and it's not when he's in. It is cancel buff effect on the ultimates and rush 2 times if your ally is Turles gang battle member, right? Just overall, it doesn't have to be in prior. It just happens overall. It's fantastic. The issue with Cacao is your third is going to be probably Days, right? It's probably the best one other than Cacao on the banner here. So the issue that Cacao runs into is he doesn't have a great third. But the solution, in my opinion, that will happen in a week from now, a little bit over that, I still think we're getting Ultra Turles. I'd be very shocked if we didn't. Again, we got his whole gang here. We have a 3-week login bonus. We have Turles sleeves. We have Turles fruit sleeves. We have Goku from the Turles fight sleeves. We have Turles on the art of the equipments. I think it's very obvious we're getting Ultra Turles. And with that, I think he'll be blue because, for one, we need a blue Ultra. We haven't had one in a hot minute. And for 2, and especially because Janemba, I'm pretty sure it was Janemba last one? No, was it not? I mean, that's a long time ago. Janemba was about a year old. I think Janemba is actually the slot that we might get Ultra Turles in. But Cacao here, he just wants that third ally, right? He doesn't have that right now, so he has a very competent duo, and Garlic helps with that because Garlic is your defensive unit, your bulking unit, and what he's doing is he's saving Garlic's life. Garlic could easily be rushed by SV. That's a thing that can exist. Garlic could easily get killed out by some big moves ult. GB does a lot of combos and he just starts murdering and then just start piecing them up, once that defense neutral runs out. Or UG4 does ult, or SV does a rush, or etc, 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 etc. Garlic is saved by Cacao via the cancellation of buff effects, so while Cacao is not the beefiest tank, that is Garlic, and Garlic is saved by Cacao on those big moves that could kill Garlic fast, so that duo is very strong. Once you get a really good offense unit of Ultra Turles, I think that duo gets accelerated to where they're both top 10, but right now, because that doesn't exist, I think they both hit this honorable mention mark. Garlic, honestly, is a lot easier to argue top 10 than Cacao. It's just, I think they really want to be together. Their colors match up. Blue Ultra Turles. That's perfect harmony of color synergy. Everything goes great for everybody. Equip-wise for Cacao, equip-wise for Garlic. Everything, because it's PO as well. Garlic gets his best equips with PO and Movies ally. He's also regen, so he could obviously optimize some more equips that are also defense-based. Everything would be perfect. It's just right now that doesn't exist. So they're only up here in the honorable mentions, which is still great. Cacao, I think, is very good value and should have pretty good longevity, especially if Ultra Turles drops. If not, he will die out. If so, that'd be great. Rage as number, whatever the hell we're at here, 14? Yeah, sure, 14. Rage, I think, is just a substitute option. These units, I think anything below the top, what is it here? Top 8, yeah, anything below top 8 is going to be substitute options, so that's all we're looking at right now. Rage is that. If you want to run Omega, Ulton, Kid Buu, that's a very good team. Or if you don't own Omega, well, okay, you pulled Rage. Run Rage. Sure, why not? You want to run Rage, Super 17, and Omega as a trio on GT, which is the inferior GT, because baby would be better than Rage. You would have Super 17 be, replaced by UG4, then you keep Omega. Okay, sure, run that. Rage is a substitute. He is a annoying little piece of shit. with his paralyze, with his good sustainability, with his team heal, with his paralyze on the blue card as well as his other paralyze when just getting hit, one time guaranteed 100%. So if you could, not have this character be your main option, okay, he's your sub option. That's what Rage is here. He is a substitute option. That's why he's number 14. He does his role well, and I think he actually has a pretty good longevity to him because he has such easy defense neutral accessibility. A team heal is always going to be great. Easy cover and all after taking a combo, which he would end off the combo because you would swap him into maybe paralyzed gimmick them, and you'd always have that, I guess, opportunity to get a paralyzed gimmick. Like, he would always want him to be taking hits. Not kill him, but take hits. Like, you get him low and he'll heal off quite a bit after the combo he takes because he does heal that, right? Now, Goku. Goku, I'll go into more detail because he's the new LF, and maybe I'm underrating him. For one, I don't own him. Yes, I know that. I used him. You saw it. I did a long video on him. I did it on purpose, so I actually have a better opinion of the character. And I did an initial video where he was glazed up, so I did 2 videos on him there. I've seen gameplay of him. The one I used was 10-star on, in my opinion, his best team, Ulton, Kid Buu. Kid Buu being a perfect color synergy. Kid Buu having the green card spawning of what Goku wants, because Goku wants green cards, so he gets his cover null, so he combo extend. It's double HP percentage 50%. He cannot do that. So you get green cards to get the cover null to actually combo extend. The issue I run into with Goku, I actually learned about a new issue, which I didn't even know was an issue, which is great. It's awesome to find new issues with this character somehow. This Goku, so let's get into the details. For one, his big team-wide buff, the cancellation buff that he does here, right, is bad. It's bad. It's bad. What it does is, it's anti-UG4. I understand. Phenomenal. Why is every single thing about UG4 on his kit? Not fucking sure. Like, you can make it just, like, overall game. UG4 is not the only unit in the game. Funny enough, Legends. I know they don't maybe know that. That's reality. But Goku, it only stops ults. So only ults one time. If one ult happens, guess what? That ult can't buff effect of, the neutral or the blah, 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 gets canceled. So let me just throw out a hypothetical. That's a crazy thought here. I know you might say, like, whoa, what a thought process. 2 hypotheticals, actually. What if I use LF Omega Shenron with UG4, like a lot of people are. People are using LF Omega, SV, UG4. That's a team people run, actually. It's actually crazy, right? And then I throw LF Omega's ult prior to UG4's. And then UG4's will not get canceled of the neutral or of anything. Wow, I know, what a concept. And another hypothetical. This is going to sound even crazier to you. So because it's only on ultimates he cancels one ultimate, then you could just rush. You have SV on the team. SV, you're running into this Goku with, again, Ulton and Kid Buu, right? So nothing is deterring me from rushing this Goku or Kid Buu with SV, correct? Nothing. Unless Ulton is in prior, nothing, and that's always been the case. This Goku did not create Ulton in prior. Ulton created Ulton in prior. You see the dilemma there? Goku created nothing differential to that situation. So, why the fuck? Because SV would still rush them, he would kill them, and if you're running Ultra Gohan, Ulton, and this Goku, guess what? It's the same thing. You can still rush Ultra Gohan, and you can still rush this Goku. You do not lose any impact of SV's rush, as I'd assume you would, because it would be canceling rush buffs as well, that you would think you would. You lose nothing. SV does not lose or gain. I guess he kind of, people are trying to run Ultra Gohan now, but he doesn't still fucking lose value because he has 2G4 right fucking there. SV doesn't even lose value. So it's like, I couldn't think one singular, why you'd ever run this Goku right fucking here instead of LF Omega. Tell me why you'd run this Goku instead of LF Omega alongside Ulton and Kid Buu. Give me one good reason. If you're to say to tank the UG4 ult, to stop the UG4 ult, to stop the AoE greens. Bro, Omega's whole thing in life is to tank the UG4 ult. That's why people were running him in the first place. Take the UG4 ult, pop the indestructible. Now you have safety with Ulton still. Oh my god, what a situation to be in. There's nothing he offers this Goku. I couldn't think of anything. Okay, he supports. Okay, great. You know what his gauge does? It's the same thing as Baby. I'm pretty sure it's the same exact wording. If not, it's a little better. Sure, great. It's not as impactful as anything that exists in the game. Goku's gauge. He gets support off, he gets some damage. That's great. It's awesome. I'd love to see it. It's so cool. Guess what? guess what about Goku's gauge? It won't stop a combo. Okay, he got his gauge. Do you think Super Baby 2, the rare times you run into him, is stopping pre-SV, pre-GB, anybody? Name a unit. I couldn't name even 5 units. Baby's gauge stops the combo. So guess what? Goku's gauge, which is fucking same thing on the actual disrupt effect of it. Disrupt, it's not good enough disrupt. Does not stop a combo. So while he's getting this damage, he's getting this support to his allies via the gauge. Awesome, great, lovely. Who fucking cares if the combo's still going against you? If you're supporting and getting damage, what would it matter? Makes no sense. And a really golden goose here at this point because it makes like Baby makes sense. He lowers sub count by 10 when there's big moves done against him. So you can't rush Baby with Omega Shenron or with Ulton or with yada yada yada. Like there's situations you can't rush Baby, right? It's great. Goku doesn't lower sub count by 10, so Goku, he will be the for fucking fuck's sake, he's always gonna be the first sack off. What am I keeping Goku over Ulton or Kid Buu? Am I keeping Goku over I guess maybe Ultra Gohan? Sure, let's say that. I don't think Ultra Gohan's good right now. I think people are coping the fuck out of him. Over Ulton or Ultra Gohan? Again, maybe Ultra Gohan, sure. Why? Why would I keep him? He's so restricted to an ally dead, and despite the fact he is worse than Kid Buu and Ulton, which is, again, in my opinion, his best team. So why the fuck am I keeping this dunce when I'm removing a better unit? This unit annoys me. He annoys me because he wants to be a jack of all trades. I can do damage, I can support, I can disrupt. His damage isn't that fantastic. It's getting outshined by other units that are older than him, an LF Zenkai, a new LF from Anniversary. Why the fuck would I care about his damage if those two are doing better? Would it make any sense to me? Just mathematically here. His disrupt is fucking mediocre. Ulton, his one-time disrupt of destroying 3 cards is better than this Goku's disrupt. And it just doesn't make sense. Kid Buu's disrupt is better, for fuck's sake. Lowering ally sub count and fucking over their card draw speed. That's better disrupt than this Goku. Like, it's fucking phenomenal how they've done all of this. They put so much into him. And he doesn't even stop UG4. He doesn't. Because again, I already named a situation you can do. It's very simple. You pop an ult with a different character. Okay, the cancel buff effect. Whoosh! It happened! Oh no! Oh god! UG4 can just do his UG4 thing then. And even then, UG4 is not just an ult machine. You don't need to just ult with UG4. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand this release. I don't understand. He fucking sucks. I don't know what the fuck they were doing with this guy. They said, let's not counter UG4 like we did with Namek Goku being amazing against UVB or Cooler being God against USV. We said, let's get a little deterrent. A deterrent. Yeah, man. How'd that work out? He fucking sucks. I remember Namek Goku I rated pretty highly. Cooler was number 1. This fucker, look where he is. Peak. I could see him 10, maybe 9. Peak. No one's rating him above fucking top 5, bare minimum, I know that much. And if you are, holy shit, I don't know what the hell you're playing, because I'm not playing the same game as you, and I wish we were playing the same game at that point of your variant, because I'd be fucking amidst by that. Goku makes no fucking sense. If anyone could explain what he's meant to do, I'd be appreciative, because I don't know what the fuck this guy's intention is. He's a fucking loser-ass unit in this fucking era, and he's a yellow meant to be a deterrent to UG4. UG4 has 2 allies on his team, so what the fuck does deterring him do? Oh my god, he can't AoE green you? Oh, wipe the tears. Oh no, UG4 can't AoE green, he must be shit now. Oh no, he can't ult you? Oh no, he can't do 2 cards? Whoa! Like, what the fuck does he do? Oh, I hate him. He's so ass. Again, I use them at 10 stars, my man. Like, I can't. Next unit. I fucking ramble long enough. GB, we'll talk about it more once we get to the other yellow here, which is going to be Baby. GB is just slow. GB doesn't have a team. I mean, the same thing here. Goku doesn't really have a fucking team. Again, why am I running Goku over Omega Shenron? It makes no fucking sense. Why am I ever going to run, let's say, GB over CMZ? I want fast, burst, great damage, right? So if I'm looking at GB to CMZ, they're both doing the same role. They both want to do damage. They're not really doing any other role. Okay, I'll run CMZ over GB. Just an example right there. GB is just slower, so He's not stopping these fucking purples. He's not, you know, even, like, he never was at this point. Like, for the last, like, month, he never was. So it's just a whatever unit. He does whatever, and you know, I couldn't care, honestly, to talk more about him. Like, GB, he isn't core, and he's slower than a lot of units. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do about him? Like, SV is getting a lot of savior here and being in a top tier threshold because the rush thing. Despite there's a lot of deterrence to SV's rush, he still can do his rush very competently. GB, I want to hit hard and I have no other mechanic in my life. Good luck. That's GB. Like it. Also, SV protects Drag Balls, which is also very nice because it actually gives him his mechanic a lot easier. GB, woo! Do cards, woo! I'll do better damage with other units, buddy. I'll use somebody the fuck else, GB. Like, that's how I think of him. Garlic Jr., I already mentioned with Cacao, so we'll just go through it. Top 10, let's get into it. All right, lovely. So, number 10, I actually think it's Super 17. I know, people will be like, Super 17? What the fuck happened to this guy? Where'd he come from? I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee and I'll explain it because Goku got me fucking tilted. Once again, as I stated, anything below top 8 is all sub-options. Not a singular one of these fuckers is core. Not a singular one. Just put out there. Super 17, though, I already mentioned the team that I would think of running him with, which would be Rage and Omega. It's more of just like a fuck you team. Again, Super 17 will hold a paralyzed card, so that's a fuck you to the enemy, which could obviously proc. Rage is doing his own paralyzed gimmicks there, and you also have very good safety with Super 17 lowering ally sub count by a lot. I think it's by 7 when big moves are done against him. So you have Omega Shenron to take those big moves. If anything, like a rush or an ultimate or anything like that. And then I just think his anti-Health Restore stuff, which might be a hot take here, I think his anti-Health Restore gimmicks, which Goku has, is very frugal. Because what it is if UG4, let's say, takes 3 blasts, and a lot of people don't recognize this, they just actually stay in because, well, they don't know what's going on. Super 17 is fucking over that UG4's Health Restore, right? Goku, again, has the same thing, which, good stuff, Goku. I'm so happy, once again. If he's fighting UG4, he can actually be pretty competent. If he's not, good stuff, Goku. Again, UG4 could be every game, but there's 2 other fucking characters on the team. Super 17 doesn't give a fuck about majority of the game. That's the difference between these 2 units here. Super 17, if he's hitting anybody, he's fucking over the Health Restore a lot, so Goku, or rather Gogeta, gets his gauge. They heal nothing, right? They literally heal 0 if they take, I think it's 2 blasts or 3 blasts, and then their gauge procs, boom, gauge, woo, okay. You know, flip forward, flip backward, Gogeta, and then, you know, wash out that last card that's going to hit you. Well, he healed nothing, right? He's at, like, 40% health now. He won't even have another gauge to proc because he'll die in 2 cards from Super 17, which I think is pretty valuable there. As well as, once again, I just stated, while Goku has the same Health Restore debuff effects, Super 17, we all know Super 17, right? So he's going to be run on a Zenkaiba setup. You run, like, Ape and Rev Cell probably as the bench. And then you're running Omega and Rage. I ran it a lot, actually. The team works fucking phenomenally. People are getting really mad against it, and it's a great time. And then Super 17 doesn't care. Maybe the only deterrent, and it's not even maybe, it's actually factual, the only deterrent to the team is Kid Buu, because Kid Buu fucks over card draw speed. Super 17 needs to draw a lot of cards to be the annoying little fucker he is. So unless that happens, Super 17 is clobbering through every unit on this list. You look at Broly, you look at Baby, you look at Ulton, you look at even SV. He hurts SV a lot. You look at every single unit besides Kid Buu here, Super 17 is plowing through their entire being and fucking them up. Like, he doesn't stop doing that. And that goes through his Zenkai benches as well. The thing is, his Zenkai benches are actually good. Goku's are fucking shit. So we're comparing the Health Restore debuffs and shit. We gotta compare the damage they're doing to substantiate that. Goku's Zenkai buffs are awful. They don't work on his best team. So Super 17 does. So guess what? Super 17's output would be higher in the grand scheme of things. So Super 17, again, sub-option. Blast GT, sub-option. We'll keep stating this. But, being that sub-option, he actually does his job very well. Even if you are running against the Kid Buu, obviously you can just mention that Omega Shenron's on the team, right? So you can just use Omega Shenron. Kid Buu only neutrals when he sidesteps, so you're not going to have to deal with that because they'll already be in a combo via Super 17. But, once again, I think he's pretty good. I wouldn't put him any higher. No, not really. But I think Super 17 does his role well, and that's a good thing. That's all I care about. That's all I want to see. So good job, Super 17. Good aging, because, I mean, he's a couple months out from this point. But number 9 will be CMZ. Once again, everything below top 7, I think I said, is going to be sub-option. CMZ is no different. CMZ, where I'm thinking his team is going to be a fusion roster. I think CMZ fits alongside SV, UG4, and himself. I've thought this for a hot minute with just pure fusions. Obviously, the better variant would be with Omega because of safety, but if I'm considering GB or CMZ, I already mentioned, I want good burst. I want better burst. GB is not doing his role. Pre-GB, GB, I don't care which. Their role as a yellow is to kill purples. Yellows don't kill purples. The best yellow to kill purple is going to be Baby, and I'll explain that because he's going to be, up there right next to the next two because they're tied. Reds have the role of killing yellows. I think it's very easy to say CMZ can kill GB and Baby and Goku much easier than GB can kill Ulton, Garlic, or UG4. And all they're doing, both these units, are just, let me hit them hard. Let me hit them hard. That's the, right? Is that not their role? I don't think a different role exists for GB and CMZ, right? So if CMZ's doing his role better as killing the type disadvantage unit to him, he's the better unit. Like, I feel like this isn't complex. I feel like this is very simple. Like, I don't know how else to fucking explain this. I think I could explain like a fucking toddler and people would fucking understand it. Like, he's doing his role better. They're both damage dealers. They have no other impact. GB does not have any other impact of like utility, disrupt, whoa, why, assault chain? Cool. Okay, great. So why am I seeing GB always sacked off against UG4s? Guess assault chain's not that valuable, huh, guys? Exactly. Like, you have SV, you have GB, and I'll see GB always sacked off first. That's like, but I thought GB, like, there'll be no reds in the match as well. But I thought GB assault chain was good. It's ass. It doesn't do anything. Assault chains, well, you could do niche situations where you caught the UG4. Woohoo! Great! It's not consistent that you're gonna need assault chain. Like, it's just fucking not. Someone with assault chain mechanics needed besides UG4, and UG4 could just fuck GB because everyone fucking sacks off GB first. Like, there's no point to it. There really isn't. Like, it just makes no fucking sense what they did with this character. Nonetheless, also CMZ has, depth debuffs and depth support, so that's pretty cool. GB doesn't, which, good job, GB. I will mention, GB can defense neutral. Yeah, I mean, CMZ could also neutral very much easier via green card, just to point out, which Goku does not stop because it's a sub count up green card, not a lock in green card. So, if that's your argument, CMZ goes overall, GB goes only defense, and offense neutral 1 card every 5. Crazy, I know. GB's crazy. Number 7/8. Again, I think these two are tied as they are put together here. Is going to be Baby and Broly. Now, I'll talk about Broly first because he's technically the lower one of the two. I have it where they're very close. If you were to swap them around, I have no dilemma with you. And the honorable mentions, I mean, is anyone swappable here? Nah, I don't think anyone's swappable. Nah, I keep them all where they are. You could also mention Evil Boo if you want, but I have disdain for Evil Boo, so I just kind of ignore his existence. Number 7, number 8, Broly. Broly is going to kind of touch that, could I be core? Could I not? Again, that team I've run and people have, I've seen run quite a bit in the past couple weeks since he's been out, of Broly, Omega, and UG4. Broly's role, it's not a great role because he is reliant on UG4. I will say that. UG4 did just lose boost, so he is losing a little damage, so things could get a little dicey there. Maybe you won't kill as much as you thought you would, etc. But Broly's role is UG4, get your kill. UG4, get an ult snipe. Your ult snipes, your ult kills, your ult does its job, so get ult kill. And then Broly becomes a lot more valuable, because Broly gets a pseudo-lock, meaning if there's only one other ally in the enemy team, and they only have 2 characters alive, and Broly does his situation of he's transformed, he throws the other person out, so the current one has to stay in and take his beat down, fucks over their health restore, etc., etc. That is reliant on UG4. Once we kind of get up more and more, we'll see the reliance of damage will diminish. And if unit is reliant on damage, they have a lot of utility to back that up. Broly is relying on UG4's damage to do his damage and utility, because he needs them to be in and that one character to stay in to really do his main objective. Now, I don't think Broly's bad. I just think Broly is not fitting this mold of, hey, I need to exist, because for one, the yellows that exist, the purples can take care of. Like, you look here, there's reds at the bottom here, right? There's only reds at the bottom here, not because they're bad reds, but because the yellows that exist. Do you think UG4 is struggling against, around now, UG4, do you think, no, yes, UG4, do you think UG4 is struggling against killing Baby, or killing GB, or do you think Ultan is struggling against killing Goku? Like, these purples do not struggle to kill these yellows. It is very easy for purples to kill yellows right now, so the reds aren't as much of a necessity as they would be if these purples were not as good at killing yellows as they are. So reds kind of diminish in value. Broly could be core. If you want to argue, I'm sure. I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, that Omega team with him exists, but I mean, wouldn't the SV variant just be better? Probably, but if you want to get little, you know, less rush action, which would make no sense, you would run this variant, which again is probably not the best variant of the entire fusion trio they could run of Omega, SV, and UG4. Now, Baby, I'll touch on here. Baby, I keep thinking he flip-flops between GB and that, and I am tired of that fucking flip-flop situation. Oh, I will mention, Triku is better against non-Saiyans than Baby. Now, does that fucking matter? Probably not. But does that exist? I'll say that exists. I'll be nice to him and say that's real. But nonetheless, that's just a talking point to have out there. Baby, though, I like what his team is. Now, his team is fucking annoying. It is giving me a Majin Buu Saga vibe, just even safer than Majin Buu Saga. The team being himself, Omega, and UG4. Now, what happens there? Everyone has sub-count manipulation. Baby, if he's in prior, guess what? He can get the fuck out. Or, if UG4 is about to get rushed, okay, he'll get his gauge and then stop that rush. Or, Omega Shenron is going to be in to be able to take those big moves, and more so than his team being a fucking nuisance and a team you really can't do your big moves against and or rush at a consistent basis, because someone with the brain won't let that happen, because they'll always have good timers on their units, and Baby will always be in, and Baby will do his job well. More so than that, because that's also a big talking point of it, is that Baby is the best sniper to UG4 that is a yellow. Now, UG4 is the best sniper to UG4, obviously, overall, right? It's not Goku, though, as a yellow. It's not GB. These two units take too long. There's nothing in Goku's kit that's like, I'm gonna snipe him out right now. He's not locking in like Namek. He's not upping sub count like Cooler. He's deterring UG4 from doing certain things, and he's barely doing that even effectively. He's doing it effectively sometimes, but not all the time. Again, it is a 3v3 game. I don't give a fuck if this guy's deterring my unit. I'll beat your ass with a different guy. And guess what? Your guy dies. My guy gets more value. Like, who gives a fuck about his deterrent if he's just going to die like Goku, because he is the worst of the three on his main rosters. Baby, though, it's a very simple concept. You get his gauge, maybe you take a combo first. Oh, shucks, I got my gauge with Baby. Okay. Let's say they were using pre-SV to combo me, and then they went into UG4 to kind of extend that combo, because UG4 would draw a few cards on his first few entries there, right? And then UG4's in, Baby has full gauge, I land that strike, I have my main ability ready, strike, into main, dead. Simple, right? It's not going to be as consistent as you want it to be, not going to lie to you, but comparably to GB, pre-GB, they're not fucking killing UG4 prior to that defense neutral 50% proc, right? They're not doing it. Goku is fucking not doing it. Goku's weaker than GB, probably overall. Baby is. Baby has at least a much more consistent basis to kill UG4 than any other fucking yellow that would ever exist in this current era. And that's why I think his value shines. Once again, I need to reiterate, it will not always happen. Sometimes the UG4 will be built like shit, and they'll take 50% from the fucking strike, and it's like, well, that's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to take like 40%, because taking 40% is a lot. Sometimes they're built like shit. Baby does too much damage, and then defense neutral procs. Oh, woe is me. A lot of the times, if you're up against a competent UG4 using a competent Baby, they'll take 30, 35%. Boom, Baby pops main. Boom, Baby locks in on the ult because his gauge is filled. Boom, Baby kills UG4 prior to him even getting his fucking first gauge, or defense neutral, and UG4 actually does die. The best counter that is a yellow to UG4 is Baby. That's just how it is. Again, his team is very safe, because you also have UG4 on the team, you have Omega Shenron on the team. The team's very safe, and for an overall setting, I mean, a lot of times you're going to fight Saiyans, you know, SV's right there, UG4's right there, you know, GB's right there, Goku, I guess, is right there. Sure, why not? We'll say Goku's right there as well. Those are a couple Saiyans you'll fight pretty consistently. I think Goku's actually pretty consistently run. It's just that I don't think Goku fucking does anything. And, well, Baby will have that extra, you know, support to himself, to allies, because Saiyans are on the team, right? Extra damage, 30% to Saiyans for himself and allies to those Saiyans that he's fighting. So there's value there, Baby. Again, that's his peak. I'm not going to rate him any higher because that'd just be obscene. But he's core on the team. I think he fits well on it. Let's move on to number 6, which I think is Ultra Broly. I need another sip of coffee because holy shit, it's been 30 minutes. That's a long time. Oh, good God. Ultra Broly, though, funny enough, he would probably be the anomaly here. For a lot of people, not because they think he's bad. He's rare. Baby, same thing. Baby is pretty rare to run into actually as a competent unit, competent stars. It's not something you see often. Ultra Broly, I think, fits a similar mold, but Ultra Broly does do his job very well. For one, he's not scared of yellows. Once again, this guy cover changes in, he's neutral 15 counts. Okay, so what the fuck's he scared of? That's a yellow. Nothing, right? He probably can't even get sniped out by Baby at, like, green to full dead, right? UG4 most likely could get sniped out by a Baby from, like, 30% health gone via the ultimate. Broly, even if he's disadvantaged, Broly's not getting killed, which is a very nice setting for him. Broly's team, it's just wishy-washy. That's kind of the dilemma I have with him. Like, I think he's individually very good, but the team is very wishy-washy. I mean, you could run LF Broly here himself, and I guess Garlic, but then you don't have too much rush safety. You could run UGF, but I think UGF is very washed. But if you're going to double Zenkai buff UGF with Broly, I guess you could kind of cope it. Broly just has kind of a team listen, we're getting this whole fucking campaign, and it's like, well, where's actual the teams that work for these characters that are actually for movies, because it's a movie campaign? There really is none. It's just fucking weird. I guess you could run Broly with Cacao, and I don't know, you gotta have fucking days at that point. Yeah, no, I don't. I guess Broly UGF, and then Broly again. I don't fucking know. But that's kind of the issue with him, though. He is a very good individual unit. He can solo matches very easily. He has no dilemma doing that. It's just, once again, he is much more a leader slot or just copium unit with just subpar units around him, because, again, if you're going to run Golden, that's subpar units. If you're going to run, I guess, UG4, Broly, SV, yeah, you could do that, but then your safety's gone. You want to run Broly, Omega, and I don't know, some other third. I guess you could do that, Baby. Strike-based Omega kind of like tilts the shit out of me, but I guess you could do that as well. Like, again, his whole dilemma would be much more of a team build. Again, he is very good individually. He's high enough because he is so good individually, but his teams do just require you to run somebody subpar. If I'm trying to core Baby, that's a 7 unit right here. I don't want to core 7 unit. I want to core a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess you could do strike-based Ulton, Mono Purple, UG4, Broly, Ulton. I guess it's kind of copium. You see what I mean, though? He has fine situation for himself, but his teams do kind of have a struggle fest, in my opinion. Not too bad. It's just a struggle. Number 5, though, is going to be LF Omega Shenron. Now, this guy, his value has increased drastically for me. I remember initially I didn't rate him too highly because you can just run pure fusions. Again, the CMZ build, right? CMZ, SV, UG4, and obviously the safety wasn't there, but hey, you don't need safety. CMZ could just die anyways. Obviously, I've kind of turned a corner with that and seen, yeah, no, how about fuck that idea? We'll just actually run the safety and see how it does. Omega Shenron, I much prefer him on a blast-based setup alongside Kid Buu, Ulton, Rage, Super 17, all these units. But if you want to run him on fusions, you can run him on fusions. It's not like it's a dilemma. Just that he individually becomes worse. But what he is a very simple mannerism of explaining of he is Pikkon. He is the new, better, much better, Pikkon / Gogeta unit. He is just an updated 2024 variant that is going to age well. That's just how it works. It's good stuff. I don't like his restriction to some of his mechanics via you have to have a Dragon Ball, because what if I need to save my rush for like a good setting? You know, I'm not going to run SV with this guy 24/7. Well, I need to save my rush for a good setting. Well, I can't get Dragon Balls, and guess what? Omega Shenron without getting Dragon Balls is not really doing much on a comboing setting. It's very, well, shit, matter of fact. But besides that, I don't really have much issue with him. You know, good combo extension. He can destroy Dragon Balls a little bit. He gets some gimmicks a little bit with his feint. And he's pretty decent overall. Also, his green card snipe potential also does exist if you are just kind of like forward thinking a little bit within his own kit. Like, let's say you do it, you pop main off a blast, then you pop the green card, then you have an ultimate in hand. That blue unit that's in currently, let's say it's Kid Buu, he's at like 60% health, he only did 1 blast prior, Kid Buu's dead, they can't do anything about it, right? Or pre-SV, or SV, etc, etc, etc. So he has a good snipe potential there as well in some niche scenarios. Number 4 is actually going to be a unit you did not probably expect to be lowered, but he didn't get lowered. But again, Triku has affected nothing of this list. He is so far below because he impacts nothing. He's just here because, well, he's not the worst thing in the world. He's just pretty shit. But SV, I think, dwindles down to number 4. It's just what Legends is doing. Legends is really anti-SV, not because of this Goku. Funny enough, this Goku does not have anti-SV mechanics, but as a whole, Legends is becoming anti-SV. Look at the units here. You can see Kid Buu alongside Ulton. Guess what? You can't really rush Kid Buu at that point. Evil Buu deters SV. You have Omega deterring SV. You have who else here? I guess technically Cacao deters SV. And you just have a team. A lot of the times, there's always one unit on that team you're fighting against has a rush deterrent situation that doesn't let SV do his rush as easy as he once did. And I think SV not being able to do that does intrinsically lose value. Now I'll touch on why more. He goes down here and when we get to number 3, but that's like the main premise, that Legends is not really coinciding with what he wants, right? I guess you could say GB wants to do Assault Chain more, so he's much more of a comboed unit, and he's much more being the one that does the damage. But units do better damage than him. It's just, there's not much need for Assault Chain, so Legends is very not helping GB at all. Legends is just hurting SV consecutively more and more. He doesn't care. He's still top 4, but he cares a little bit in that rush setting because that is his main gimmick of doing his rush. Now again, SV gets saved by the immunity to Dragon Ball Destruction, by the neutral when they swap, because that's very strong. Let's say Omega Shenron comes in, and guess what? I'm in with pre-SV, because their unit was taking too much damage, they had to swap to the green. Well, those 3 counts on neutral, I'm beating your ass. Pre-GB does not have the situation of, hey, guess what? They swapped from their unit to, whatever. They swapped from their fucking GT, or let's say Super 17 was in prior. They swap out of Super 17 for some reason, and they go into CMZ. They had them together. Why not? Well, GB's not neutral there. GB doesn't gain anything when they swap out. He gains a green. Okay, cool. So does SV. So what the fuck's the difference? One has neutral in pre-tag, one doesn't. That's a big fucking gap. That's a big importance, especially if Omega Shenron is so common. And guess what? Omega Shenron is common. SV, though, he has better ways of getting Vanish back as well, comparably to the 2. You just draw cards. I've seen SVs vanish 3 to 5 times in one fucking setting of they're in a 1v3, but guess what? They're drawing infinite fucking cards. They're beating my ass. They're using their blue card. They're getting more cards. They're using their green card. They're getting more cards. They're getting fucking cards. So SV can vanish a lot. GB, we can vanish twice. Because you're at the Assault Chain. You can't get your Vanish back via Assault Chaining, right? So you have the Assault Chain, and he's not getting Vanish back passively either if you are sidestepping, and you just get it back once on main. See the issue there? Like, pre-GB can get Vanish back a lot. GB cannot. SV gets Vanish back a lot. Pre-SV does not. They swap roles there. And having the post be better at the Vanish back because it's a stronger form is obviously much more impactful than the pre. But SV does dwindle down a little bit. It is much more a team thing, which I will touch on right now, because number 3 is Kid Buu. Now, Kid Buu is higher because I was thinking about the teams. I was thinking long and hard, and as you can see, actually, let's hide that again, but you can see something up there. Number 3, though, Kid Buu, I will touch on why these two are so, well, swapped right here. Kid Buu's teams are just better. SV, his best team, again, you could just say it, it's going to be Omega Shenron, SV, and UG4. Or people are running purple, blue, Ulton, UG4, SV. Understandable. You can run either variant. Whichever one floats your fancy more, do your thing. Now, in my mind, what's going on there? Let's say the Omega variant, because I think I run into the Omega variant more. You have good safety. You don't have too much color harmony going on. I guess SV to UG4 is decent color harmony, but it's nothing crazy there. And there becomes an issue that arises where, yeah, I mean, you'll use SV. You'll get them out, sure. But once again, what I just pointed out is that the rush deterrency. Kid Buu's teams has a rush deterrent every single fucking time. If you don't run Kid Buu with Ulton, if you don't run Kid Buu with Majin Buu Saga, if you don't run Kid Buu with Omega Shenron, with one of those 3, I just feel like you're lying. Kid Buu always has one of those, if not more of those, on one team, because running Ulton, Omega, and Kid Buu is a very good team, and there's just rush safety. So SV's main shtick of, hey, I can rush, and hey, I can beat their ass, and yada, 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 kind of starts to dwindle down against that team, right? especially against Majin Buu Saga specifically, but just a Kid Buu team in general, because they have so much safety. So Kid Buu's value would go up there. Kid Buu would have a technical better team. Now, we mentioned the Pearl Blue of Ulton, UG4, and of whatever is here of SV. I don't think that team's that great. For one, Ulton doesn't really like a strike-based build. Like, you can do strike-based for him. I've done it. I understand it. It's fine. It's just Ulton is not, like, Ulton is Ulton when he's on a blast-based team. Majin Buu Saga, leader slot, regen, PO, whatever. He's Ulton there. When he's not, he's like Ult and then Han. Like, there's just a little bit of a gap going on there. So he kind of gets worse via that. And then just overall, I don't really see what, like, I understand Ulton is going to be better than Omega Shenron, I get that, but I don't really see how that would affect SV better. Like, I guess the support from Omega, sure, I guess, but I don't even see that team too often to even have it be a considerable option to, like, deter, like, nothing, it's still not hurting Kid Buu. Like, okay, I still have Ulton with Kid Buu, so Ulton's, Ulton's shtick of, doing that drop combo main, Kid Buu's not going to get 100-0 by Ulton. It's not going to be a thing, especially on the Pearl Blue setup. You're glazing G4 and SV. Ulton's not going to get Zenkai buff. He's just there. He's just on the team. He's just a leader slot on the team. He just plopped there. So he's not getting that. So it's not really helping SV to get like an easier kill to pop off against, Ulton, and then someone dies, and then, wow, now I can do my rush a lot better. It's not really a thing that happens. I mean, I wouldn't say it happens very often at all. When I run to that team, I don't really face any issues with it when I'm running Kid Buu, because Kid Buu, to talk about him now, just mows through everything. For one, Kid Buu fucking sustains like a god. Kid Buu has very good combo disruption, with it being the minus cardinal speed per card he takes, and then the lowering ally sub count. So from there, combos end very frequently. Most units are not immune to that. I don't know who actually is immune to that. Is Kid Buu immune to that? I guess maybe Kid Buu is immune, which is some Kid Buu stock because no one else is fucking immune to that. And then more so from there, his infinite green cards. This dude is healing a fuck ton. Kid Buu heals a lot. On main, on green, he heals a fucking lot. So from there, your sustain is very good. You also have Ulton alongside Kid Buu, so you have support alongside good sustain. I wouldn't say SV Ulton G4 is the crazy sustain. I would say Kid Buu probably overall in a match would out-heal SV. Am I wrong to say that? Like, even fusing. Like, I feel like Kid Buu would out-heal, because Kid Buu heals a so fucking much fuck ton every single fucking match. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm a little glazing here, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. And then you'll go on from there with Kid Buu. Well, he doesn't have much issue. Again, if you're going to face a green, okay, Ulton's right there. Like, sure, same thing for SV, but I just feel like Kid Buu's teams are safer. Kid Buu's teams are better sustained. Kid Buu's teams overall, like, harmony fits a lot better than anything SV's teams could offer. Like, again, there's safety, there's goodness on SV's teams, there's no support, there's no real, like, oh yeah, these two are perfect allies together because this, that, and the other. I mean, SV and G4 are just good units, so they work well together. Ulton and Kid Buu are also just good units, but Kid Buu spawning greens, Ulton spawning greens, Ulton spawning blues into greens, which gives Kid Buu more greens, and then the rush safety via Ulton for Kid Buu. Like, there's harmony between these two. They actually want to be run together. SV and G4 can just kind of be run together because they can. And I think there's a difference in that with Kid Buu having number 3 here to SV having number 4. That's just my take. If you disagree, that's fine. It's just, I think Kid Buu has a little bit more value than SV right now because all the rush deterrency. I think every singular match has a rush deterrent unit, and that has to hurt SV. I can't cope that it doesn't, because it does. Now, number 1, I actually have it tied. I use UG4 off boost, I've used Ulton off boost, and I've seen everything. I feel the impact UG4 has off boost is much more impactful than Ulton's. Obviously, both lose defense, both lose offense. And Ulton's, you'll feel the offense difference quite a little bit, not too much. But the thing is with that is you just swap into someone else and just kind of subside that. With defense differential, I don't really feel it too much with Ulton. Maybe I'm just biased. I don't fucking know. I don't really like Gohan that much, but sure, maybe I'm biased. UG4, I feel you get his gauges a lot faster. I remember a 5-star doing 700,000 to my 14 stars on a 1 strike. If that ultimate were to have landed on my UG4, well, guess what? My UG4 is dying to a 5-star UG4. Like, I don't give a fuck if it was a 5x Zenkai buff, 5-star UG4. It's a 14-star of my own UG4. That is Zenkai buffed, taking 700k out of, what, 3.5, 3.6 million? Like, that's too much fucking damage. I cannot have that be the case And I think the defenses UG4 has lost because he already had not the craziest defenses in, you know, actual tanking ability get hurt. And more so than that, as I've already mentioned, Goku and Super 17 do have ways to deter his healing. Again, look at Super 17's Help Store debuff. Goku has a similar Help Store debuff there, which I don't rate Goku high, but he does have that against UG4, which does have to eventually catch up to him. Not trying to gas up Goku, but there is something that catches up to him that does hurt him. Baby has snipe potential on UG4 even easier now because now he's off boost. Ultan does not get sniped by Baby because he just doesn't give a fuck about Baby and all his ultimates and all these yellow units ultimates, so he doesn't get sniped out by Baby. UG4 does. So I think Ultan with his teams, same thing to Kid Buu here, actually does end up gaining a bit of value. As well, UG4 has whatever team he has, he's leader slotted, he's whatever the fuck you want to put him on, he's still UG4. I think Ultan actually has a situation to argue, hey man, I run Kid Buu, I run Omega, I run Kid Buu, I run Super 17, I run Kid Buu, I run Rage, I run Kid Buu, I run whoever as that third. You're pretty fucking safe. I don't think Ultan's ever just going to be some schmuck doing nothing in a match, and if he is, it's Kid Buu who's number 3 doing everything, and Ultan is substantiating that via the support, via the green cards he could offer, via his blue cards. Like, again, the harmony between these two actually fits very well to give Ultan a higher rating, to give Kid Buu a higher rating than it would for UG4 and SV. They don't have as much harmony. They have goodness, they're great together, don't get me wrong, but the harmony, the actual one-to-one, and these units want to help each other, Kid Buu and Ultan had that much more. So I think UG4, while he is 1A here, Gohan is 1B. I do not think there's such a gap between the units where it's number 1, number 2. I think they are physically tied. If you want to swap Ultan to UG4, I wouldn't debate you. Now, I wouldn't agree right now. I'm not there yet. I'm maybe close. I'm pretty close. I'm not there yet. So, this is where I'm at. UG4 number 1A, Ultan 1B, Kid Buu number 3, because number 2 is Ultan there technically. Fuse Super Vegito number 4, Omega Shenron number 5, Ultra Broly number 6, LF Super Baby 2 number 7, LF Broly number 8, CMZ number 9, Super 17 number 10, Garlic Jr. number 11, Gogeta Blue Fusing number 12, One-Handed Spear Bomb Goku number 13, Rage Shenron number 14, and Cacao, my goat, number 15 here. Long ass video, was not intended, but my rambling on Goku probably got a lot of you know, attention there. What do you guys think of my top 10, top 15 technical tier list of, I guess, of September, because we're probably going to get the Ultra Tech Link in October. And I'll see you guys in the next one.